And just knowing all this, if you
And
start
no matter when we are born, these rules are
apply. Yeah,
apply
this
no
rules
matter
will
when
apply.
we are born.
It doesn't matter where you were born. What matters where you were born. I could calculate your energy. I take your energy through calculations, and I basically use your frequency of vibration multiplying on this angular, and then I find the vibration of the building which will resonate with me. If I don't know your vibration, I can definitely make a space, but it doesn't mean that it will resonate with you. So you'll be okay there, but it's not like perfect. Let's put it this way. So people say, okay, well, I'm going to sell this building. You calculate it for me. What about other people? Yeah, they're coming here. Means it's not going to vibrate with them in resonance. I say, because it has so much there already designed, so the heart of the building is not plugged with bathrooms. You sleep in a southwest corner where you're supposed to have a heavy energy of sleep on earth. It's better for you. So you will not feel like you're harmed or something. But if you want to feel perfect, then we calculate for you. If you want to, let's say you don't know when you were, the time of your birth. Because when I was born, my mom was told I was born in this time and nobody reported anything, so I don't know exactly, but I think that's what she told me. So then, ancient architects, they knew one secret. They would say, okay, if you don't know when you were born, your timing, we cannot calculate exactly your energy. We're going to use energy which is beneficial for all. And in astrology, it's called Revati. Revati is the last constellation in the circle of constellations. If you just divide 360 degrees into 27 sectors, that's where constellations are. So the last one, 27, it's called Revati. So it's like, if you reincarnate, and then it's a last time you reincarnate. Yeah, it's a sattvic or totally peaceful energy coming from that constellation. So we take that energy and we design the building. Then you will be okay there. Whoever comes there will be okay. That's why the buildings for public use, not like residential, you use that nakshatra. You use that energy because it will benefit all. Plus, for example, somebody's donated money to ashram, yeah? And an ashram we appreciate this person, he gave us money to build this building, for example, yeah? So in appreciation to this person, we could take vibration of this person and using calculations of the building for ashram, so he will or she will benefit also because the energy will be vibrating with his frequency, and people will appreciate that. So it's like such a subtle field of interconnectedness. It's amazing. So when you know more and more, you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is incredible science. And so all the ancient temples, if you look at them, they are, okay, see, they have a rectangular shapes or square shapes, like Angkor Wat in Cambodia, yeah? So that is not random. They build it according to the grid of energy of the planet. So that temple gave all the time so much energy. Now it's dying basically. Maybe it's time. Nobody's there for worshiping anything. And by the way, Brahmins or Buddha also. This is a huge mandala. So yantra basically. Yantra, by the way, do you see yantras here? Yeah? It's geometric patterns, right? So that is exactly the pattern of vibration of the deity. That's why we have Surya, we have Ganesha, yantra, because if you don't see that this physical body what people made, yeah, if you will see only on the energy structure, you will see this. So everybody has its own yantra. And I can find actually your yantra. And I can show you real quick. That actually done on me only last year. I'm looking for a new yantra. I take your dimension and I bought equipment. It's basically for scientific experiments. I saved my money and I bought this equipment for basically passing through, it's called Kladny pattern. If you're interested, I can show it. Are you okay?
What is it called?
Kladny pattern. It was a guy, he was German, 1780s, I think. So he rediscovered that when he played violin, he noticed that the sugar on the plate with his tea, he was drinking tea, yeah, was moving while he was playing violin. So he took a bowl, touched it, and the sugar basically created a pattern. So that's why it's called clarinet pattern. So sound is also vibration. So sound is a lower vibration than light. Light has its own patterns as well. That's light vibration. Sound vibration you can see through physical frequencies. So this is what I started studying because I wanted to understand what is this all about. And so Ganapati Stapati was really happy when I was asking these questions and I would show him, my research. He said, Madam, nobody asked me these questions before. Just keep moving, keep moving. It was really nice. He died in 2011. But I know he's not dead, we're all here. So let me, I want to show you real quick, because I didn't know where we are here. Most of you don't know anything about it. So I wanted to show you real quick a lecture which I was going to show today, but I decided that that's too much. So let's do this guy. Let's beginning. Oops. Okay. So this is about what I did. Let's move. I wanted to read this. In space through architecture, in form through sculpture, in body through dance, in words through poetry, in sound through music, in thought through mathematics, thought. When man discovers order and rhythm, he touches the divine within himself. And that I found in a documentary about Dr. Ganapati Stapati. One guy made a very interesting documentary, I have it actually. And so that was the beginning of the documentary about his life and what he did. He was Padma Bhushan. Padma Bhushan is a very high title in India, would be given to somebody who achieved a very high level in art, maybe in music. So he was Padma Bhushan. And south point of India, Kanyakumari, there are two islands. One has Tiruvalluvar monument. It's an ancient poet. He wrote a very interesting Tirukkural. Everybody's studying the scriptures about life, love, work, being honest and things like that. So that monument was built by Ganapati Stapati. Yeah, so for me, it was important when I was looking for my teacher. I wanted to make sure that my teacher is a serious person. So he designed and built, he knows the scriptures, he's a serious man. And that's what I wanted to study from, a serious man. And he was that person. And I never found anybody who would be at the same level, honestly. He was an amazing being. Some Indian people would say he was the reincarnation of Saraswati, like one of the incarnations. So before I teach my classes, I chant mantras. But here I'm going to flip quickly through what we have here. So this is kind of what I was explaining to you. When we think, we emit energy. That's why we get so tired from our thoughts, because we constantly emit energy, and that's why we need rest. When we are in deep meditation, not even sleep, deep meditation, we are not moving inside as fast. So we're allowing our being to be more peaceful. That's why meditation is taught here, because it will actually help you to slow down the process of the thoughts, of these mini explosions in you, and actually to get to the source. That's when you can hear your source, you know yourself. Because when you are not emitting all this energy of the thoughts, because you're busy working with something else instead of going inside. So we are functioning like this. And this is another lecture I have. It's a guy, Walter Russell. I just wanted to, Julie, actually, we were like 3 years ago, decided for Mother's Day to travel to Virginia. There are warm springs there, just to kind of plunge in the springs and relax. And it was a rainy day. Next day we thought, what we would do. And Julia found it was a museum which was opened on that day after a long time of being closed. And it was for Walter Russell. There's a guy, an American guy. He was Illuminati. It's like, people don't know about him. I've got all his books. So he was in connection with divine. When he was very young, 7 years old, he was sick with some disease, infectious disease, and he died. He died for several minutes. It was, they didn't know about this in the past, like near-death experience. So he had the near-death experience. When he came back, both doctors said he's dead, he's gone to parents. And then suddenly, like after a couple minutes or so, he came back, and the parents, oh my God, he's not dead. And he was saying to parents, I saw God, there was light. And he was telling me these things. And I was like, okay, you're just sick. So every birthday, he would go into this state. And when he was 49 years old, it happened to him, he went for a month in the state of connection with divine light. And he was given a book. It's called Divine Iliad. So I'm studying this because that book is Vaastu Shastra. I mean, I just cannot believe this is, like Dr. Stapati didn't know him, they lived in a different frames, different countries, but they're talking about the same stuff. It's just unbelievable. He has grids of energy in his book, God gave it to him, yeah? That's why I know he was not just saying something, whatever he had, something happened to him. But so what I wrote here, I quoted him, he said, God is light. Yeah? He said, he who is able to become a higher being each moment of his life is among the transcendent ones, saints, who are ever nearing the portals of the light, which all men are forever seeking. The glory of becoming a transcendent being is the only reason for living. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're searching for the truth. Without such a goal, life would have a little meaning. And so his question was, where is that knowledge? How do you find that knowledge? And I found for myself that Vedanta really helps me, giving me this new and new clues. I'm going through my research. One man, he's a Vedantist, he was invited by Sri Mandodari to Canada. He told me after my lecture, he said, Madam, you're searching for God through patterns, geometric patterns, for building construction. Some, there are different ways of search for God. That's my way, because I thought it's only the way. It's not, of course. So, when you find something, you think, this is it, everybody has to know about it. But there are many different paths to the top. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what I did. So it's about frequencies. This is the space itself. It has like the structure according to the ancient teachings, yeah. And the Paramanu dimension is given in the scripture, and it says, if you go and multiply in geometric progression, so it means you multiply itself on itself 8 times, then you take that number and you multiply it in itself 8 times, and you do it 5 times. Why 5? Because there are 5 Panchabhutas. Pancha 5. Creative elements. It's Akasha, pure space, fire, earth, fire, air, and then water, and earth. 5 elements. This is 5 frequencies. So that's why we go through this multiplication from the purest, highest energy to the earth. So when we get to the earth, then we can build earthly objects, because we're going to use dimension, which is seen on the earth. We can use it, we can calculate. So that's called the angular. And I have a friend.
What's the 5th element you said?
5th element is earth. So Akasha.
Ether, air, fire, water. Earth.
Yeah.
What's the first one?
Ether.
Ether or Akasha, it's space basically. Space, you can call it space. Pure space. So there is a Chidambaram temple in India, in Tamil Nadu. They have no structure inside, no Shiva, nothing. Space, pure space. They worship pure space. They're called Chidambaram, pure space consciousness. So I have a friend. He's I'm not going to go through all that because it's this is your angular. So what I do, okay, so we're going to, it's a video. And so you can check my YouTube channel. Okay, so here, I'm going to stop here. Okay, this guy, his name is Harold Bachman. He came with his wife to Chennai in 2005 when I was studying there. We're still friends. So he's a programmer, his wife is an architect. So we were sitting together and studying, and he's a very punctual in everything. He has to understand, why this way or not that way, why we calculate this way. So he said to me many years ago, Olga, I don't know why, but I took basically the speed of light, so the distance which light goes through in 1 second. And I divided itself into two, and then another, and half. I said, why in halves? He said, because this is how octaves are built up. So he divided speed of light as many times, 33 times, and he got to the angular. Can you imagine? He said, this is incredible.
He got to what?
Angular, to this dimension. From the speed of light, we get to angular. Then we can go from paramanu, we get to angular. It means we are in a direct ratio with divine and the speed of light. We are light, okay? So that's why this his email, his calculations. So that is incredible. So, but I couldn't understand during that time what it meant. And now I understand better because I spent another 18 years after that. So, and I think it's not my first life, you know, doing all this stuff. Okay, so let's just. Okay, Swami Sita. So what I did, I decided to make a gift to Swami Sita. And I'll do Swamiji for you also, or your calculation. So now we're getting to these cladding patterns. So I measured, she said, Olga, my Mandodari, she goes, Mandodari, my dimension is 1 inch exactly. Okay. So I took her, I didn't take from the book that angular, which is given to us, the dimension. I took her human angular, because she has her own vibration, right? So she has her own angular dimension. So I took that and I ordered a cladding pattern, a metal plate, which I multiplied her angular 8 times. Because it says in the scriptures that 8 by 8 pattern is divine. 9 by 9 is for humans. But the dimension stays the same. It's just space divides into the material world itself into 9 by 9, basically pattern of energy. But when it's in a light form, it's 8 by 8, and it's called Manduka Mandala. I was thinking, why Manduka? Why Manduka? Why frog? Some people sniff frog poison and go to the light. Of course, I'm not saying we need to do that, but I think they did something in the past. So, this is called Manduka Mandala, frog. Mandala, the divine pattern, 8 by 8. So I was like, okay, I'm taking Swami Sita's angular and I'm making this 8 by 8 mandala for her. And I have this equipment. I bought it about $1,200. So I saved, and my husband calls me crazy scientist. So it's okay. Anyway, so this is the Chladni guy, a German scientist. So he lived from 1756 to 1827. Yeah, 100 years before it was already discovered. He rediscovered that again. Anyway, so. A lot of people now know because on YouTube you will find all this music through Chladni patterns. They connect basically drums to this metal plate, and they see what is happening with the sand, the powder, whatever they put. So it's beautiful, but most people don't understand what they say. Like, how does it connect to the divine? Now, people don't know. I will explain to you. So, so this is a plate. So I decided to make wide experiment. I did not only 8 by 8, I ordered 4 by 4, 5 by 5 metal plates for Swami Sita, 9 by 9. Then I realized that after experiment, so 8 by 8 is the optimum. So I had all this pattern, plates. So I would connect and put it on the top of the vibrator. Yeah, and that is generator. That equipment creates basically electromagnetic waves passed to the vibration generator. And that thing, this vertical metal thing, is jumping like this. So the electromagnetic vibration gets transformed into the physical vibration of the sound. And so the plate starts moving like this, jumping. With the vibration, I set it up. So I have on the plate is sugar, but I have powder, like very fine powder. And it starts showing me certain things. So it could show nothing for some time, then I have to increase vibration, and then suddenly I hit the resonant point. It's called resonant pattern. So it means that specific perimeter, that size of the plate, goes into resonance with that sound frequency. That's when I get the pattern. It's called standing waves. So that is the geometry of that specific sound. Okay. So so there are different ones, and some are more beautiful, some are less kind of wavy. Our goal is to find a beautiful symmetrical vibration because it's symmetry, it's balance. And so I was basically looking at different patterns, and I picked. So this is I'm showing like a video. So see, it would appear with that specific frequency. This diagram would appear. So it means at that frequency, that size of the building is going into resonance. And that's what I'm doing when I'm calculating your energy with the building. I create these patterns, yeah, resonating patterns, but not randomly. I make sure that it's connected to this frequency of the cosmos, because that's what the formulas are. So that's the key. So I took this Vamisitas, this beautiful mandala, and I found the frequency. So it was between 4,325 and 4,327 hertz. Yeah, that pattern. So it has circles. There's some kind of like a square here. You see that? Like this, yeah, and circles and more circles. So I just decided to check that. It was another Indian man. He came to New York in 1930s from northern India. He was electrical engineer, Din Shah. And whatever he was doing, he was Zoroastrian, and he was initiated by Madame Blavatsky Theosophical Society, and he started getting incredible information through his experiments. He found what frequencies of colored light would heal people, physical diseases. So there is a tiny little book. The non-profit organization is for nothing to buy that book. So I bought the book years back, and now suddenly it connected. I was like, okay, I know the frequency of Swami Sita. That's her frequency because I use her dimension. Okay, I take that frequency and I want to find what would be for her a healing color for her body, which I should find that frequency here in the table of equivalent sounds and colors of that guy who was teaching actually doctors. 300 doctors would be in his room. He would teach how to cure with color. His archives were burned by FBI. He was put in prison, and later on he died. So, there is a doctor, one doctor, she was very close to him from Philadelphia. In that book, you could see that she would cure whatever doctor said, okay, this person is dying, we can do anything. She would say, give it to me. And it was a girl, she had 70% burned skin, and she was dying. She was 80 years old. And so she exposed her to the color which would regenerate skin. And I think it was purple, some specific frequency. And the girl came back 6 months, it took 6 months. But she didn't die. And she was a totally nice, like new skin, you know. So he would show this incredible achievements with these colors, how you can cure yourself with colors. They sell this equipment for nothing again. So anyhow, so I decided to see what would be the color frequency for Swami Sita, because I know this for vibration, right? And it goes into resonance. Okay, so I was like, green and turquoise, but this is 4,325. I started dividing by 2 octaves, so it goes a slower vibration frequency. So I got to this 541 hertz. Okay, now I'm looking at green and turquoise color would be close to this. I was like, well, that's interesting. So if the green color, or turquoise color would be healing for her, because that's her vibration. Then I decided to check her nakshatra. So nakshatra is not your physical vibration, which I found from the vibration through your finger dimension, but this is from astrology, what your soul is vibrating. So I knew her nakshatra. I asked her when she was born, and there are special programs astrological programs online, you can find them. You could find in what exactly, because this is a sector of the sky, the energy is coming from there. They divide it into 4 to find it and fine tune what energy is coming from that constellation. So she was born on the moment of the second pada, they call it pada. So, and it has a dha sound, dha. So I was connecting all of this. I was like, wow, how interesting. So I found this is her kind of energy vibration. It's coming from the light. And then I have her vibration from the sound, from her body, because it's a slow vibration. So I used ChatGPT. This is just research, guys, because I had a very limited time. I could not do it by myself. I decided to ask ChatGPT. Yeah? So I just stated my question. And it's not like 100%, I need to continue this research, but I want people who would like to participate. So I'm asking people if they would like to participate to let me know. We could do this experiments, and then when I will get the database, I could do the right basic analysis when I have more data. So here ChatGPT gave me the different frequencies, and ChatGPT told me, I said, give me the color of that vibration from the astrological point of view. And it gave me also turquoise, which is incredible. You know, it got like the same colors. Like, wow, how interesting. It's like either some kind of fluke that it's just definitely the same or maybe not. And I would like to say this is not a fluke, because Swami Sita is following her soul desire. She wants to serve people. She's a Swami, she's a monk. So this is her vibration, right? So she wanted to do that, and she's doing that. So her body represents the same vibration on a level of sound frequencies and on a level of light frequencies coming from this cosmos. And she got charged in this energy. So I started connecting these dots. I was like, Swami Sita, your healing color is turquoise. So you should, I know you're wearing orange because the orange is Swami's color, but just a little medallion or something, wear something of that color because it's your healing color, actually. So I told him about that. And then I was looking for sounds which would correlate to these frequencies. And I found on the internet a lot of experiments. So I found the sound which was connected to this 565 hertz. And so I said, this is your sound. So that sound is the frequency of turquoise color, and her, that's a note, musical note. So if she would listen to something which would have the sound, it would be very healing for her to restore back to where she was born with what frequency. So let's move. Okay. In India, there are a lot of instruments. There is a whole different subject of Carnatic music. It's not just what we listen to here, because it's connected to the sounds of the cosmos. So Carnatic music is like healing. So I was looking for also the sounds in Carnatic music closer to these frequencies. Found some musical instruments representing that, because as I said, so India saved a lot of this ancient knowledge, and so music is healing. We all know music is healing. It changes our mood when we listen to some song, right? We're just like sitting, I don't want to do anything, and suddenly I turned on and I started dancing. Or you go to the department store, you turn on the music where you start buying things, They know all the psychology stuff. You want to be upbeat? Hey, I want a new dress. I have it. I want another one. Okay? So the psychology is there. So they know these things. But we cannot connect sometimes with the divine purpose of our life. So this is Tampura. It's a C. Healing sound of Tampura, 430 hertz. Anyway, so to kind of summarize what I was trying to explain to you, yes, I was digging into this nakshatra, where it is in what constellation. I wanted to know all these things, and maybe because I grew up when I was atheist, and I need to know all the technological parts and calculations, mathematics. So to me, I need to dig into this science and connect the dots. And then I can explain to somebody that makes sense to me, and it makes me a believer, because I could see a lot of now correlations, and that's why I'm coming for years and years to Shivananda Ashram, because they have very interesting lectures here, and the teachings of Vedanta, and it's just, to me, this is it. So I found my source of knowledge, and I'm connecting with architecture, with your energies, and finding healing colors and your pattern of vibration. There are several patterns, not one. Scientists know that every organ has actually its resonant frequency. Like, I think eyeballs, I think it's 20 hertz. There is one scientist in Great Britain, he was on YouTube. He said if you take empty bottle, like from, I don't know, wine or water, but glass, and you start blowing air into that, like this, and it starts resonating. And at one point, you would feel your eyeballs moving like this. That's, you find the resonant frequency for your eyeballs. So they calculated, there is a chart actually of every organ of human body which has its own frequency of vibration. That's why in Germany now they have a whole technology based on the frequency of sounds healing people from cancer. Specific cancer cells, they cannot stand specific, because cancer cells vibrates. They vibrate with specific frequency as well. So when they know that frequency, they could have another frequency which will nullify this frequency, dissonance, to create dissonance, not resonance, dissonance. That's it. It cannot vibrate anymore. It dies. So it's not radiation, it's a sound. So a lot of research is going on, and so these ancient teachings of architecture, they go to that source. How we're supposed to build in order to resonate with cosmos, with Earth, and with human beings. Then we have a good, healthy environment. So this just really goes into philosophy of existence and physical, how you feel about yourself, about your life, if you live in a good environment, which is healing. That's the purpose of Vaastu Shastra. Well, thank you so much. If you're interested, there is in this little book. And tomorrow, if you're still here, we will participate in the experiment. I brought this two Vimanas. So it's a structure which is calculated based on the formulas of divine vibration, based on the nakshatra reviti, which is for everybody. So the dimensions are calculated. I ordered in China, it's not cheap, special molds to create joints which would hold the pyramidal structure. And I will explain tomorrow why pyramidal structure, why the cube is at the base, and we will sit and meditate. And we will have experience, whatever we will have, we'll share. Okay? All right. Well, thank you guys. Relax.
Guru Pesh is at Shivananda Ashram, and we just brought this structure. It's called Vimana for meditation. So I just wanted to ask Rupesh about his experience, because he just meditated for several minutes in there. Can you share anything?
Sure. So being in here feels like you're in a nice soft space like a temple, and there's a vertical alignment to the structure which helps project your point of consciousness to the everything else. So I've meditated before just being a point in everything, so it's hard to find that alignment. So I think this space helps in that alignment and projection of your consciousness.
Thank you.
It's very soft and comfortable feeling.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much.